Hey everybody, it's Marc Veasey from Texas.
And I'm Greg Landsman from Ohio.
Welcome back to the New Dem podcast, The Fly-In. And today we'll talk through the aftermath of the political and gun violence that happened last week. And we'll also cover the latest developments of the government funding fight. And we're also excited to have Congressman Ed Case from Hawaii, or as some people in Texas like to say, Hawaii. And he'll join us in a moment as our special guest. So let's get into this.
Let's start with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Horrific
Very.
news, and it's important to start where I think most people are, which is, somebody killed somebody else. That's a horrible, horrible thing. It seems like a politically motivated assassination, nonetheless.
Right.
His wife, the children, he had two young kids, they're obviously mourning.
Right.
And then you had all of these people who witnessed it, who saw it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to see that.
No.
And because of the algorithms on these social media platforms, it was shoved onto every phone, most phones.
Yeah.
And people who didn't want to see it
Right. Like me.
saw it.
Yeah. I did not want to see that.
Me neither, and I have not seen it, but my daughter did because it just showed up on her algorithm, and we decided to go ahead and delete TikTok for her. She did because she didn't want to see stuff like that anymore.
Right.
The political discourse usually after something like this, at least when I think you and I were coming of age in politics, was about coming together. We're all in this together. But that's not been the case for everyone, though it should be. And my advice to people has been follow the folks who are talking about compassion and grace and kindness and, the need to heal as a country.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that really worries me is that it seems like so many people are worried about sort of one-upping the other party politically. I think you're especially seeing that on the Republican side. I'm not saying that we don't need to, there are some things that we don't need to clean up. I'm just saying I'm mainly seeing that on the Republican side.
Yeah, I've been saying there's like this idea of keeping a ledger on
Right.
political violence is so unproductive.
It's really bad. And I can tell you, we need to figure out a way how we can agree to disagree. And no one is ever going to be 100% right about anything when people are having these sort of discussions that are very divisive. And we just happen to live in a time and moment in American history where things, are extremely divisive. And so people need to understand that. And people need to govern themselves accordingly when it comes to us having dialogue with each other, when it comes to how the government is going to regulate the freedom of speech, and really how we're going to regulate the freedom of speech amongst each other as neighbors. We have a special guest with us this week, Congressman Ed Case of Hawaii. He's going to talk a little bit with us today and tell us three things about himself, but I want to ask Ed first. I'm going to let Greg get into some questions. So I want to ask you first. Is it Hawaii or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
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 Okay, so Hawaii or Hawaii.
It's neither.
Right.
It's neither.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. People in Texas.
I was in Honolulu a couple weeks ago, coming back from Asia,
And did you
from a
pronounce
work
it the
trip.
right way?
What's that?
Did you pronounce it the right way?
No, I don't know. All I know is that I was walking. My wife traveled with me, and I said to her, Ed Case, and she said, of course. I said, if I were Ed Case, I'm not sure how I'd get on the plane each week and come to D.C.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Well, I think that all the time.
Yeah. But you're always, you don't miss votes.
I don't miss
Rarely.
votes.
Or ever. I don't know.
I keep pretty much the same schedule as the rest of you all. I just spend more time on a plane and less time at home. It is pretty crazy. I mean, when you think about my lifestyle, it is pretty crazy at the end of the day to go home for a weekend. But, I want to go home, and I obviously need to be here to do my voting.
You have one of the longest commutes, but not the longest.
I do not have the longest commute, so when I feel sorry for myself, I think about them.
Yeah. Three things people should know about you.
Yeah.
Husband, father, grandfather. I have a wonderful family. Family life is really important to me, number one. Number two, born and raised in Hawaii, 4 generations in Hawaii now, and now we're down to the 6th. So deep roots out in Hawaii that I'm very, very proud of.
Do you know how to surf?
I do know how to surf. I'm more of a body surfer though.
Okay.
I'm a swimmer. I'm a high school swimmer. I know my way around the water. I kind of got out of surfing when I was a teen and got into very, very heavy-duty body surfing for quite a while. So we're talking big waves.
Wait, what's heavy-duty body surfing?
Well, very high, very rough, and
I see.
you got to know what you're doing, otherwise you
Yeah.
get killed, almost literally. And I wouldn't do that kind of body surfing anymore. Although I still pretend that I can rip it up, but I'm not sure if I really can.
So I went back to Ohio over the weekend, obviously. Mark to Texas, you to Hawaii. I mean, what was the reaction back home to the latest political violence and violence in general? I mean, there were also school shootings and other violence, but obviously the Charlie Kirk thing was top of mind when I got home. I'm curious what it was like in Hawaii.
Shock, sadness, anger, disappointment, a sense of real loss. Not only a loss for Charlie Kirk and his family, because let's start with the basics. This is a wife without a husband, children without a father, family and friends without a loved one. But beyond that, a loss really of a sense that somehow this country would escape that level of political violence, that level of deliberateness, where he was clearly premeditatedly murdered as a result of his political beliefs. And I think the country is asking, how did we get to this?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
One of the reasons why we wanted to have you on was because we are barreling towards a shutdown, and you're an appropriator, which means you're part of the group, typically the bipartisan group of folks that put a budget together. Can you just give us an update of what that's been like? Are we going to see a shutdown? Advice. This would be my first, not yours, and certainly not yours.
No, not mine.
But my first.
Well, let's start with, yes, I'm an appropriator. I'm in my 7th year on appropriations. I love that.
And explain that to people, because people don't. That's kind of inside baseball.
We have many subject matter committees in Congress. We have a committee on agriculture, a committee on armed services, a committee on education, and they're committees that take chunks of the federal government from a policy substance perspective. The Appropriations Committee has to pay for all of that, and as a result, the Appropriations Committee covers all parts of the federal government, from defense to intelligence to, labor and right through. This is how we fund our government, and we do it every year through our appropriations process. This is a process that is laid out under our Constitution,
Right.
And it originates in the House, and so the House Appropriations Committee has a very, very broad portfolio, and of course, funding equals oversight. So we are, partners, as you would say, with all of the subject matter committees in trying to get this right. So we split this up into 12 separate bills every year. One bill on defense, one bill on homeland security, one bill on kind of health, education, and welfare, one bill on labor, et cetera, et cetera. And we have to, in appropriations, in an ideal world, pass all 12 of those bills. The Senate has to pass them. The two sides have to agree, and we have to pass them again in the same format, send them to the president. That's the ideal way of doing it. We haven't been doing that for many, many years now, so we have not been following that.
If Congress is not going to pass the 12 bills by the end of the month, do you have a prediction? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I hope what happens is that we pass a continuing resolution, a short continuing resolution, so that we can get our work done in
30 days, 60 days?
30 to 60 days max. But there are some very, very critical issues that we have to address in the CR, and those relate to our attempt to make sure that the American people have the health care they deserve, and that they can afford what they need for their basic living. And so these are must-pass pieces of legislation. In the situation with the health care, we're about to lose a very important subsidy for folks to be able to afford their health care premiums under the Affordable Care Act. And if we don't pass that within a couple of months, they're not going to be able to afford their health care. This was a law that was passed to make sure that people could afford their health care. There will be millions and millions of Americans, and so I hope what happens is that we have a relatively clean CR, but take care of the health care needs of the American people. Come back, finish up the. Now let's be really clear here. The Republicans are in the majority right now. They're in the con. They have the majority in the House, the majority in the Senate, and the president. I think we all believe the Democrats are here to work with them to get this done. But if they don't want to work with us,
which is
they have
what
to,
the president said.
Yeah, can we do the clip of the week now?
Yeah.
How does President Trump deal with the government?
Well, we have to get Republican votes, that's all. If we do, we have the majority, so we have to get.
But don't you have to get 60, don't you?
No, we're going to do a probably continuing resolution, or we're going to do something. So we're going to do something that. Here's the problem: the Democrats they're sick. There's something wrong with them. I told them, don't even bother dealing with them. We will get it through because the Republicans are sticking together for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, the president said, don't even deal with the Democrats.
Well, yeah. Well, a couple things. One is, he said, don't deal with the Democrats. He was asked, like, does it require 60 votes in the Senate? Which, of course, the answer is yes. And he said no, which is untrue. And then he said Democrats are sick. And again, I think we have to be careful not to get pulled into, the hyper-partisan nature of the president or other people. But there are some facts here. It does require them to work with us, and the president of the United States telling Republicans don't work with Democrats is a huge problem and suggests that he wants to shut the government down. No?
Absolutely. I mean, number one, 60 votes is what's required in the United States Senate, and
They have
that's been true
53
for a long, long
Republicans.
time.
Yeah.
And the last time we did a CR for this year, it required 60 votes in the United States Senate.
You've lived through a shutdown, or many. What happens? I mean, what should people be worried about?
Federal government services slowly but surely turn off, and they accelerate on a pretty fast basis. You can get away with it for a little while, but that's because essentially
Weeks, not months.
not months, not at all. Weeks is all you really have. You can get by, as we say in Hawaii, cockroaching, which means stealing funds from places that they shouldn't have been taken from. You can do that for a little while. Then you have to lay people off that are non-essential. Essential federal workers must come to work without being paid. It is really an agonizing process. It is destructive to the country. It is destructive to politics. It is destructive to our standing in the world. It is clearly, as I already talked about, destructive to whole parts of our federal government that are especially sensitive, such as our national defense. And so this is something to be avoided.
There is a bit of Epstein news. This morning, the New York Times reported that Maureen Comey is suing the administration for firing her. She is a prosecutor. I think it's a good thing for those of us who want transparency around Epstein. She worked on the Epstein case, and it stands to reason that she has access to most of the files, the witness testimonies, a client list, if it exists, and presumably it does. All of the financial transactions, everything that we need to know to hold everybody accountable for these horrific crimes. She's suing, which suggests that through discovery, she may be able to get some of these files.
And I think that she absolutely should do that.
Yeah.
Because I think we all believe very much in complete transparency on this. And by the way, I don't think this is just the three of us or many members, a majority actually of members of the United States House definitely believe this. We've all signed the so-called discharge petition, which is a fancy way of saying we want something to come to the floor and not get bottled up in committee, and that something is full transparency. And I believe, and I think we all believe, that this is an issue where the vast majority of Americans agree. They want the truth. They want to know what happened. They want to know, whether there's a cover-up, and if so, how it happened, and they deserve it. And if this has to happen by legislation and by a court case, then so be it.
At the time of this recording, 217 people have signed the discharge petition that would require a vote on releasing the files. Yeah. Do we get 218? Do we get the magic number this week?
I think we do.
I think we do too. I don't know who
I
it's
don't-
going to be, but somebody's going to break.
I don't
because-
think, I don't think this is going away.
No.
And by the way, the Senate is having its own internal debate, and I think it is the right thing to do. And I hope that we can do this because Congress, as a separate, independent, and co-equal branch of government, which is what we should be, but which under the current administration and majority we have not been, will do the right thing, make the independent judgment for the American people, override the administration, and get this done.
All right, we're going to play a game before you get out of here. Ed Case.
You ready?
Yeah.
You know that song, Black Sheep, you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with Landsman, oh my God.
Every episode.
Landsman,
There's a
you do
song.
not.
Of course I know the song.
Oh my God.
I love the song.
Okay, I was about to
It
say.
was a 90s song.
Okay,
It's
all
when
right.
you do like the 40s. And
Be nice to me, or you're not gonna. We're not
Oh, you
gonna-
brought us gifts.
Well, that depends.
Depends.
That depends on how this goes.
Okay. All right. So it's a travel-themed game called This or That. You have one of, not the longest, but one of the longest commutes back to Hawaii. When you are traveling, window or aisle seat?
Window.
One time, this is a true story, I was flying to LA, and 3 hours into the flight, I was like, well, I got to stretch my legs. And I get up, and behind me in the middle seat is Ed Case. And I felt so bad for you. But that's what you do every week, not the middle seat.
The days that I get the middle seat are bad days.
By the way, when you saw me, you looked so excited, like, oh, maybe we can talk and hang out and
No,
burn
I was
some
looking
time.
to trade with you, actually.
All right, do you get to the airport 30 minutes early or 3 hours early?
Never 3 hours. Absolutely not 3 hours. Like 45 is the going time
That's
to the
right.
airport.
Mark,
yeah.
you do 45? I would do 45.
About 45, yeah. I mean, what about this one? Do you bring your own food for the flight or buy something at the airport?
Never bring my own food.
You never bring your own food.
And at this point, I have enough miles so that they give me food if I want it. So
Okay.
Look at you.
I haven't spent money on a flight
So
for
why
a
were
long
you in the
time.
middle seat?
It was a fluke. I must have gotten on there late. I don't know.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know?
sometimes you book
I didn't-
multiple
I didn't-
flights, right?
I didn't get my mileage number in there, so they didn't.
Something
it was
happened.
like I said already. It was a bad
No.
day.
You have long flights, shoes on or shoes off
Shoes off.
on the flight?
Yeah.
Compression socks?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Good move, bro.
That's
Good move.
that's a go-to, man. Don't
All right,
don't miss
next.
those compression socks.
Neck pillow or eye mask?
Neither.
Carry on or checked bag?
I haven't checked bags in years.
Yeah, I never check a bag.
No, never.
Yeah.
Like
Never.
at all costs, do not check a bag.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up.
All right.
Oh wait, before we wrap up,
You guys have been pretty good here today. It's been a good discussion.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness,
earned
and
this,
I'm gonna
huh?
I'm gonna pass these out.
Oh,
These
nice.
are,
I love those.
These are Mac nuts from Hawaii. This is called Mac nut diplomacy. This is something that my boss
I really want these.
taught me, which was the best way to get things done in Congress was to give away Mac nuts frequently, which is what I do.
I like that.
And I joined the New Dems when I first came to Congress back in 2002. Been one ever since, and you guys are really doing a great job.
Thank
so
you.
This is a way of thanking you.
I like Mac nuts. You should try to work out a deal with McDonald's. Thank you for joining us this week. Before we take off, please remember to follow us across social media platforms and rate and review the show wherever you get podcasts. We want to hear from you. Greg.
See you later, everyone.
All right, we'll see you next time on The Fly-In.
When we were in Hawaii.
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 Hawaii. Little stop. Hawaii.
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 There you go.